Carolyn, and thank you so much for offering to do this today. Now, you've recently completed my 12-week Mindset Breakthrough program, and your results have been absolutely extraordinary. So would you just like to tell us a little bit where you were before you reached out to me and what was going on for you then?
Okay. I had a lot of changes in my life. My job that I had with the band had come to an end, so I found myself being employed to unemployed. My husband had gone through changes with his work, and I also had my mother who was taking extra time and responsibility. So I just felt that I was in a state of overwhelm, and I just couldn't get myself together.
Yeah, and just to let everybody know, you are a singer, dancer, performer, and before COVID, you used to play in bands, and I believe you were very well known, more than just up here on the Sunshine Coast.
Okay, yes, I've come from Melbourne, but I've been in the country music scene up here at the Sunshine Coast, and I was with the Sunshine Coast band for nearly 8 years, and we did a lot of the rural areas for debutante balls and dancing, ballroom dancing. So
yeah, and I believe it was the pandemic that put stop to all your live performances, and that's how you went from employed to not really having much work.
And now I've sort of gone from a group where we organized where we were going and what we were doing, and now it's just myself. So I'm sort of starting again, either as a solo or going to find a trio or a group again. So I'm sort of in that on the lookout at the moment.
Sure. Now, going back to when you reached out to me, you did have big goals, but I know you were very stuck, which is very common. So tell me about where you were when you came and what you were wanting to do, but what you were a little bit stuck with.
In being stuck, I just didn't have a clear vision of where I was going and what I was doing. And I also had a lot of feelings of guilt regarding my mother being in Melbourne and me being here and sort of not employed. And because I've been a singer and a dancer, I wanted to keep that going. So when I reached out to you, I tried many things, podcasts and self-help books, and always believing I can do it myself. I don't need any help. So there's a bit of stubbornness there. And then I saw your mindset, and it took me a while, but in the end, I'm glad I reached out to you and started the 12-week course, and it's been great, absolutely great.
I remember, I think you said you watched some of the testimonials or the other client stories on the website, and really that's what's so helpful, because there's nothing like listening to somebody who has gone through similar or different, but they've come out and had amazing results. You really embraced our work. So tell me a little about what shifted for you along the way.
I've always thought I'm going to do this and I'd like to do that, and it's always been with no clear time or date or timeline. And with your help, I've been able to bring that overwhelm of I want to do this, and there's just so much, and I just brought it down into more daily routines and smaller segments, and put time in the diary for me. So that's my time, which has been really, really good, because now I organize myself and I get the little things done, and I'm committed to doing that daily, and it's been the commitment to just keep it going. So
and I know for you, helping you create a structure, as you say, in routines and small steps along the way, and acknowledging your successes, of which you've had many. So tell us a little bit about the things that you've done and achieved during our time together.
Well, I've auditioned for a singing concert, which I passed the audition. I'm on to the next step. So that's a big win. With my dancing, I'm doing so much, and it's coming to fruition. I did a performance today at a retirement village, which was really good. And I'm also getting a modeling portfolio with the hope maybe of going to an agency. And so that's sort of in the pipeline at the moment. So things are happening on multiple fronts, but they're all segmented and organized.
Yeah, they are. And I know something we talked about along the way was getting out there and doing some performances, because we all get a little bit rusty when we haven't, been doing our thing for a while. And I you have so much courage. I suggested this and you did it. You actually went along to a karaoke night so that you could sing on your own. So well done.
And it was such a benefit, because you let all those nerves go, nobody knows you, so it doesn't really matter. But it was a huge boost to my confidence and my performance. And I think from that I did well in my audition. So it was really worth putting myself out there.
Yeah, but you found incredibly resourceful ways to make sure that you did your practice. You learned your songs, because we forget when you're performing, you have to learn a lot of your songs, and you really worked hard on that. And I believe when you, if it's okay, I share this, when you went down to audition, the judge got up, which is unheard of, and fell in love with your song and got you to do it again.
Unbeknownst to me, it was his song with his partner, so therefore there was a bit of pressure there. And yes, I got to do it again, and I think it was even a better performance again, because you lose that first level of nerves. And it must have been a good audition, because I got to the next steps. I get to do another bigger concert in the Brisbane Town Hall. So
wow, so that was because that was one of your goals that you wrote down, wasn't it?
Yes.
And what other goals have you got that we spoke about?
Well, one goal that I had, which just sort of happened along the way, being so disciplined with my exercise, I've lost about 8 kilos. So that was like by the way. I think with the not so much stress on what I'm doing anymore, that sort of relaxed me. So therefore I was very able to organize myself, and the weight just fell off.
Yeah, and I would say that was, years ago I specialized in weight loss. It's not my speciality, but I have plenty of tools and techniques, and I do know that when we're stressed and we've got all these pressures, we hold on, it's like a survival mechanism. So when we can free ourselves up from our old patterns and the things that are clogging us up, magic happens. And you are a fabulous example. And you had great discipline as well, and you're very committed to your goals, because I think the other thing was, this is your year to do things for you. So what's
my year to shine?
Shine, that's right. So now that you've done the first audition, you're successful, and there's other things in the pipeline. What's one of your other goals that you're working towards?
Just getting a proper audition recording. So I'd like to do about 4 songs, and maybe go to an agency and just go on from there.
And I know you're going to do really well, because you've got new possibilities opening out for you now, and you've got that structure, and you've got strategy and tools, and you also, you're really committed to your vision. So it's been amazing, amazing.
And I think when you let go of that fear, or you just go through that barrier, and you find it's just not what you imagined, it's probably better than you imagined. So you just have to go through that veil and just keep going, and just see where you end up. Positive mindset.
Now, have you got any other insights you would like to share from your journey, or words of advice to anyone else if they're feeling a little bit stuck or overwhelmed?
I would just say, if you've tried everything, like podcasts, self-help books, and you get to a position like I did, and nothing was changing, and I knew I needed to do something, but I'm just so glad that I came to you and just sorted out things from the subconscious and getting it into the conscious, and then just having those timelines and sort of following through. And if you have an idea, just keep going until you've satisfied that before you go on to something else. So
And I think finding someone else, I mean, I've got a big library, and years ago I was similar to you. I thought I could do it myself. I had all the books in the world. I listened to things, but there's a difference between knowledge and information and turning it into implementing it, which is where wisdom comes in.
And someone else can see from their perspective that you can't see because you're too involved in you know, so you get sort of clogged, or you're just in a stuck state. So no, it's really some great tools that you've you know, empowered me with. So I'm just going to keep at it, keep the daily
and I know you will, and I look forward to staying connected and hearing your great successes that I know are going to happen. And we wish you all the very best in your next performance in September. We'll be with you there, and maybe not in person, but definitely in spirit. And I'm sure you'll nail that one too, and onwards and upwards. So thank you so much.
Put in the work. Very grateful to you, and thankful that I went ahead and completed your course.
Great. It's been a pleasure working with you, and again, all the very best for all the successes that I know you're going to have.
Thanks, Mandy.
Back to performing again. Thank you.
Thank you.